to the I-80 Club and another after Nebraska football. Jack had to clean his mug because he was taking photos of it last night, hoping to see Jalen Gramstad do something, and then he didn't. He didn't at least score a touchdown, but he did retweet.
He had 2 completions. What do you mean he didn't do any? Is this Jalen Gramstad erasure? He was 2 for 2 passing. That's a perfect quarterback passer rating. Oh my gosh.
By the way, Jack,
TJ
Lateef.
Okay, doggone it. God, that's
it always happens to us. It's okay.
Why would that happen now?
I don't know. Why we use StreamYard every day. It's always the same.
But as I was saying, now people can hear me more clearly.
Yeah.
I don't believe your Jalen Gramstad erasure that you're doing. TJ Lateef gets here, and all of the state has forgotten the veteran, the championship player of the year quarterback, and he comes in and just does his job, and he doesn't expect kudos. And Josh is like, nah, he didn't do anything.
No, I'm just saying he didn't score what you wanted him. What did you say last night? Like, I want my wish and his to be realized.
And which I could confirm now that he retweeted it. You made fun of it, but it's true.
No, I thought that was cool that he retweeted it. That's
no.
awesome.
You thought it was cool he retweeted it, but you thought it was, you were like, it's my wish and his wish, and I think you were a little skeptical.
That was funny.
Yeah, well, it's true. It may be funny, but his retweeting of it confirms that he and I, hold on.
Handshake on the coffee meme. Was it like a Lady in the Tramp situation? Don't spill, Jack. You don't want to spill that coffee all over.
This is coffee in it today. That's not what I had in it last night.
Yeah, nice. Shout out to you. And shout out to Gramstad for getting in. That was pretty cool.
I was kind of surprised he retweeted that. Northwestern could be mad at him for that. Anyway.
Yeah. Why would he be mad at it? Was there? I don't know if
it's kind of a teetotaling campus.
Oh, I didn't realize that there was beer in there. I couldn't tell, but I was.
Oh, that was what was supposed to. Anyway, okay. Well,
okay, all right. Well, I'm happy for you, and I'm happy for.
I'm happy for me too. I'm happy for everyone here.
Wow, what a night it was!
And you, yeah. All of us happy for us.
Wow, what a night it was! Josh Peterson, Jack Mitchell, with you on this Sunday morning for after Nebraska football. Normally, this show will be on Saturday nights. We still, Jack, have not had a chance to do a totally normal Saturday night recap pod, though we did record one last Saturday night.
Tomorrow,
Nebraska played
next
on
Saturday.
Thursday.
Next Saturday.
That'll be so glorious to get to a normal
Saturday. If they
Saturday.
lose, that will suck so bad, Josh.
Yes, if they lose to Houston Christian next week, that would be bad.
It will suck. I'm just going to say it. That'll suck. That's just my opinion, but that'll suck.
Interesting. What an interesting take. If you have stumbled upon us for the first time, this is the I-80 Club. We very much appreciate you joining us. We do pods 1,000 times a week now. I actually just finished one, Jack, this morning with our dear friend Matt McMaster. Before the witching hour, people were saying they enjoyed the pod. They were watching the pod. They were laughing with the pod. You weren't, because you don't support the pods that I do here on the I-80 Club. But you know what? It was nice to have the various subscribers, handsome, beautiful people with their great opinions join us. Look at that. Sam writes, it was good. It was good. It was good.
It was fine. It was good.
Interesting.
I didn't watch it. I don't know if it was good.
Well, it was definitely fun. And so we do stuff all the time. If you would like to drop us a note, if you would like to participate in the chat, there are multiple ways you can do so. We take supers on YouTube, but if you're a subscriber to the I-80 Club, which we think is a much better bang for your buck, at patreon.com/I-80 Club. You join the community tier. You can hop into the Discord server and you can comment with the various subscribers that are doing so right now, talking about The Truman Show. Here's a photo of a Packers t-shirt. Can I ban this user now, Jack? I don't know what's allowed right now.
You can.
Yeah. All right. Well, see you later, Husker for MU. Bye,
See you later. Yeah. Enjoy Sean Callahan. Just kidding. Sorry.
What was wow?
Meaning he would have to quit and go to another service. And Sean is the best, the top, creator online.
I was on YouTube last night. I saw how many people were watching.
In America.
Dude, the amount of people that were watching that, I couldn't believe how many people watched Bigger Overreaction last night. The one that I saw was 2,000 people were watching live.
Sean's?
For a 68-point victory.
Does that count Twitter watchers?
No, that was just on YouTube.
Dang. Because counting Twitter, our Friday Husker Tailgate, our first one got over 1,800.
Look at you. Yeah, shout out to you. Not to brag. No big deal.
No, it's not to brag. That's just for a comparison.
Not to brag.
But
not
it was
to brag.
It was very high.
Jack, we Ben Wright sounds like I gotta check his show out.
It's good.
D'Lo,
Jack and Josh here.
For the ad reads.
Jack and Josh here for Husker Online. You know, when I'm looking for great Husker content, there's one place I go, and that's Sean, Robin, and Sipple, and their wealth of experience. That's where it's big time. Anyway, back to our show.
Riz says Sean Callahan, the punt returner. That's good. But welcome in, Jack. We spent like 2 hours in total over the last few days talking about like, what do you want to see?
What do you want to see? How about,
is there anything that could happen that would make you feel good?
We're like, I don't know. Can you really feel that good? Well, the answer is yes. You can feel good about every effing thing on the entire team. It can happen, and it did happen. And oh, baby, that feeling is so foreign and nice. You know what I did the first thing when I woke up this morning, Josh? The first online thing that I looked at still laying in bed. Was it reading an article? Was it looking for tweets? Was it seeing that Jalen Graham
was it watching Bigger Overreaction?
No, it wasn't any of that. It was looking. It was looking at the box score. That's all I did. Was I went and looked. That's all I wanted. I don't even need it dressed up pretty with prose by the scribes or by entertainers like you and myself. All I want is the raw. The raw numbers are enough for me. They are enough for me. Numbers like this. Josh, Dylan Raiola, 33 for 42, 78.6 completion percentage. Amazing. With this, it says 2 touchdowns. There were more than 2 touchdowns passing, right? Did he have
4?
Yeah, 4. What is wrong with this? The one I pulled up is
you're on a bad box score. You might have been lying to me about his completion percentage. It actually
I probably was. I was. Let me see if I can get you a better number there on that. That's it. That's very sad and very embarrassing for me. Here's the actual box score. I'll try that again. 24 for 31. Okay, 24 for 31. It's 364 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Were you looking at last week's box score?
I was, I think it was the season totals I had went to and it just had last week. So 24 for 31. I don't have the percentage there, but that's, I don't know.
It was like 79% or something like that. It was very much close to Cincinnati.
Nice. Can I read you some more box score?
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to.
How about this? Emmett Johnson, 14 carries, 10 yards a carry.
10 yards a tote, baby. 10 yards. Yeah.
2 touchdowns. Yeah.
Like few too many carries for my liking, Jack. A few too many carries.
I mean,
I got to be critical. It's my brand. I got to be critical. Get him.
Okay, there it is. There it is. Husker hater. Josh Peterson, 14 carries for 10 yards a carry. Josh is a little disappointed with that line. Okay.
Yeah. Too many. Yeah.
Next, let's see what else can I give you.
And by the way, Sam points out 3 touchdowns total. Yeah, he had a reception for a touchdown as well.
I didn't do receiving yet. I didn't do receiving.
Yeah. Sorry. I was just going with total production.
What is it? This ESPN box score is a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
It doesn't even it only lit.
What are you trying to find now?
Just a complete box score is literally all that I'm going to get a different, or you can read it to me. Here, I got a final stats PDF from Huskers.com. That's official, folks.
Yeah. Oh, that's real.
That's freaking official. That's not screwing around. Okay, receiving. How about this? Can I interest you in Ja'Cory Barney? 7 receptions, 7 for 132 yards. Yeah, baby. How about, can I interest you in 57 yards after catch for Ja'Cory Barney?
Hello. Those are the numbers that we have liked. Those are the numbers we've wanted to see.
That'll do. How about, can I interest you in Isaiah Hunter? 4 catches for 82 yards, 32 yards after catch. Can I give you Isaiah Mosey, who is officially, hello, this is officially the second most interesting running back on the team, in my opinion. 3 receptions for 65 yards. All of the yards after catch for Isaiah Mosey. Ooh, baby. He didn't even have a carry, did he? No, he didn't.
No,
wow.
What? Jack, are you I am concerned that you are looking at like the worst box score yet again. He didn't have a carry last night?
I am looking at it's like NCAA like official. Like it's
okay.
It's at the I will show you what I'm looking at.
No, you don't have to. I just could have maybe I'm the idiot here. I'm pretty sure
I got rid of the ESPN one. I ditched that.
Okay.
There's what I'm looking at. I took a very good screenshot of it and I posted it in the chat.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see, what else can I tell you about? How about some like full game stats? How about that? Would that be good?
Sure.
How
why not?
about that? First downs, Nebraska 31, Akron 13.
Yikes.
Passing first downs, Nebraska 22, Akron 2.
Wow.
Yes. Penalty first downs, Akron 4, Nebraska 0. Okay, that wasn't so good. Net
By the way,
yards
you were right about Mosey. He didn't have any carries. I'm wrong. I apologize.
Net yards rushing, 234 yards for 7.1 yards a carry for the Huskers and 5 rushing touchdowns. Passing yards, 494. Hello. Is that in a top 10 all time? Could that be 494? 32 for 40 overall for the quarterbacks during the game. Total offense 773. Or excuse me, total offense 728 on 73 plays. Good for 10 yards per offensive play. Amazing. Wow. One fumble,
Jack,
one lost.
This is one of the bigger ass whoopings that we have seen. I mean, Sam asked a question of John and I on one of our Unsportsmanlike Conducts this week of, could this game have a top 5 margin of victory in Memorial Stadium, essentially in like the modern era of Husker football? And I said, no, there's no way, because they would have had to win by like 50-something points. And then they scored 68 and allowed 0 points, and it tied the margin of victory record inside of that stadium going back to 1982, I believe it was, versus New Mexico or something. And so just a complete destruction. And really the only negative on offense was the Heine push that resulted in no score, and of course the fumble by Emmett Johnson. Otherwise, they picked up almost every single available yard that they could have got.
That's true. Those two plays.
Game. Yeah.
It was
and
they
awesome.
converted and they never punted. And they never punted.
The Archie Wilson thing was so funny.
If Archie wasn't sad enough
that
he missed his family, he gets them here.
I know. And you can tell the BTN really was like, this is great. We know where they're at. We're going to interview them. And they're like, screw it. We're still going to interview them.
Somehow, the groin kick era is as ungroin kicky as it is, but then it gives you like personal family sadness groin kicks.
Yeah.
Like it will always find a way. But they're here, I believe. They were in Kansas City. I believe they're here next week. I mean, and if they've got it, if Dylan or Jalen, I think Jalen will do it. He's a good guy. Shout out Northwestern College. He follows me on Twitter. If he's got to take a knee on a third down with like 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter for the family, for the Aussies, then let's do it. Let's do it, Jalen. You know what to do. Or even maybe take a little trip or something. He'd sacrifice his stats.
Ben says, do they not have jobs? Oh, other countries have like way more vacation time than we do. So I'm guessing that they were just like, we're going to take off the next month from work. And their companies were like, that sounds great.
Also, it's the dead of winter there. It's like Christmas there. It's probably Christmas.
No, it's
Christmas
almost,
break there.
No, it's springtime there,
Eve.
Jack. The days are getting longer. They're like, wow, this is great. March Madness is about to start.
All the kids are on Christmas break. Oh, they're like, goodbye, mates. Enjoy your Christmas.
Right now,
see some football.
Right now, Jack, they're watching conference tournaments. It's like that. You know how you feel at the beginning of March? That's the time of year that they're at. Christmas is long in the rear view.
Maybe it's spring break.
For summer.
Maybe it's spring break.
Maybe that's what it probably is. It's probably spring break. It's like, oh man, the sun's about to start setting. The Australian Jack Mitchell is like, we've been chopping off days. We're chopping off days, and the days have been chopped.
They might WFH too. You can WFH in a lot to jobs.
Yeah.
Now, all you gotta do is get like a neighbor to watch your like wallabies, and you should be good.
Your kangaroo. Hey,
hey
there.
Hey.
Could you come over and watch Billy the kangaroo? What accent is that? I don't know. But that's his parents.
Oh, good day, mate. Yes.
Tina says, jolly good Christmas.
Here's a question for you. What if they're not going to punt? What can we do to get Archie in the game? What's his second best position?
They always talk about how he can throw the football. Why didn't he come in as a quarterback at the end of the game?
It's a fair question.
Yeah.
And I know we got to get Jalen. So I'm like Archie's parents, but for Jalen.
Yeah, sure. Your dream and his. Yes.
He heard I wasn't here.
Put that on an I-80 Club t-shirt. My dream and his. And then below it, it's a photo where it says he followed you on Twitter.
This wasn't behind the podium. It was on a side session, but they told Jalen I was going to be out of town. for like a week, and he broke down completely. It was really sad. But in any case,
damn
like,
it, Mitch, stop asking questions that make people cry.
I don't want to make those two compete because that's an important chance for Jalen to get a touchdown next week. So I don't know what he's Australian. He's probably tough as hell. He could be a linebacker, I'm sure.
What does being from Australia have to do with being a linebacker?
Growing up in the outback, wild
yeah.
animals that can kill you all around you at any moment.
I guess that's true. I never thought of it from that perspective.
Oppressive heat. I mean,
it is hot. It is hot. Though isn't it a desert? Isn't it a desert country? I don't know. How about the fact that it's a continent and a country at the same time, Jack? That's pretty cool. That's the only one that we have.
People forget that.
Yep. And that's what happens when you win a game 68-0. Jack, I have a serious question for you.
Oh, by the way, I forgot one final box.
Are you reading more stats again?
No, but there's one final. I was getting to the apex of the box score.
Oh, that was a build up. I thought I couldn't tell if we were killing
to the final one. And I'm sorry, I am going to whisper it. Okay. I apologize.
Oh, is this are you edging right now, Jack?
Well, I mean, you guys do whatever you need to. You're not on camera. Nebraska punt returns. 6.
Oh God, yes.
6 punt returns for an average of 21 yards per return.
Good Lord.
Oh,
Jack,
baby.
Baby. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are they allowed to return punts now? Like, this is a thing? Like, Jack, they looked so competent when they caught the football. They looked so competent.
Competent as
what was
balls.
In front of them. Dude, it was incredible. Every time I was like, wow, look at this. It's a totally new world out there for Nebraska football.
That first punt, there were 2 punts to Ja'Cory where he had so much room, which he did not have against Cincinnati. And at the moment, if you would have
tears in your eyes,
if you would have freeze framed it right there and said live odds that he takes this back for a touchdown, I would have been like 45%.
Dude, every time he got going, it was like, oh my gosh, is he finally about to do it? And then Bruce says in the chat, we were mad that Barney was tripping over himself. Nebraska's players continue their streak of just getting bumped a tiny bit and falling over. Happer has been on this train for years where it's like, stop falling. Just keep running. Your job is to keep running. Stop getting tripped up all the time.
They get so excited to run fast that they sort of lose their balance, I think.
Yeah, who was it? Was it Ives? There was a couple of times where the backup running backs, it was either him or Nelson, where they're just like running so fast and it's like, slow down. Like the announcers brought it up, like just chill a little bit. Don't run right into your line.
This was always something I was worried about, is Nebraska having a team that's too fast. And here it comes, right?
Been saying it for years.
And we've been saying it is like there's a limit to how much speed that you want. Yeah. And now Nebraska's got way too much speed. And so obviously that's going to be a problem in the Big Ten.
Yeah. I have a serious question for you, Jack. So we talked as we hit at the beginning, the last few days, like, oh my gosh, is there anything that can happen? Or what do you want to see? Like, do you come away from this game? Again, legitimate question. Do you come away from this game with a different view on the team as they move forward now? And part of this too, like, I don't want to make this pod about Michigan just yet because we have time to do that. But I don't know how much you watched of them last night, Jack, but I got some questions about the Michigan Wolverines.
I did going into the game.
And so I just wonder, like, do you leave this game and think, okay, I am viewing the season through a different lens, or are you telling yourself, chill out, it's still early, and Akron is garbage? Like, which side do you lean more towards?
I did this for the Cincinnati.
The answer is both, right?
Yeah, I mean, I did this for the Cincinnati game too. I said, look, I'm not going to get too high or low based on this game. A lot of people got way too low on Cincinnati. I'm not. It's one of the worst. It's one of the worst FBS teams that's out there right now. That said, I think you can celebrate and happy and take some solace in the fact that Nebraska handled a team like that, which they haven't always done from whistle to whistle. And so I think there's good in that. But man, in terms of just how Nebraska is going to match up with better teams, I'm not sure if I feel like I know a whole lot more about this. Honestly, Josh, the biggest thing I take away from it for the second week in a row is just kind of a mentality type thing again.
Yeah.
Because I think we knew that Nebraska was this much better than Akron, but Nebraska's been this much better than other teams they've faced. And they haven't
won like this.
They haven't done this. And part of that is a mentality thing. It really is. And so again, that's probably the biggest thing. I'm starting to feel like the team is in a better headspace than it's been in a long time.
Yeah.
We'll see. But that is the biggest thing that I take away in terms of how you match up specifically. Like, I mean, I can give you again some feelings that are getting more ingrained about the players, about the team, about the strengths and weaknesses, and we can get into all of that. But I'm really not ready to extrapolate those still real extensively. And frankly, Josh, probably won't be until after Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why the early part of the season can be so fun, because you're kicking ass, but also frustrating because you're trying to get data points that you just are unable to pick up. So I want to read this comment and then other comments before I give my answer, because Rebound says, interested to hear Josh's answer to this question, TBH. I will give it in just a moment. I want to read some comments, though. Adam says Akron is garbage. JB says Michigan is beatable. I would expect them to be favored, but Nebraska can win that game. Sam writes, we need to repeat this week, next week, then show up versus Michigan, then we can talk. Texas Toast brings up that Akron is unable to make a bowl game because of their team GPA, and that is a great point. JB writes, and well, let me read this from Masturbator.
You're going to be unable to make one if they were a bunch of Einsteins. They're not going to get 6 wins, but whatever.
Yeah. Masturbator, I don't want to be a downer, but Michael pointed out Akron hasn't scored a point since Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's been since the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Oh, but you said Michael said it?
Uh-oh. What are you going to say?
No, I just didn't hear that. Was that who's
Michael Severe, friend of the friend of the I-80 Club, Michael Severe.
Oh, Michael said it. Well, then repeat that, please.
I will not. JB says Akron is garbage, but Nebraska exceeded my expectations and did what they should have done, which is important. And then 2 more. D'Lo says, I'm ignoring the 6 to 7 drops that should have resulted in at least 2 TDs, but the eye test tells me Nebraska is improved. So I will now answer the question that I
agree
asked
with almost all of it. Yeah.
I am viewing things a little bit differently right now. And I think that it is because I think they are passing the eye test at this moment in time, or at least they did last night. You said something a second ago, and I'm not talking about Anthony, by the way, because he would have fumbled it. Jack, they were favored by like 33.5 points. They doubled that number up. Like, so I know that we said, well, they've won before. Yeah, but this was a different type of ass whooping that they delivered. I think in terms of who is passing my personal eye test right now, I think Emmett Johnson looks faster, and I think he looks shiftier so far this year. I think he looks like he is leveled up. Maybe not to the way that you and I kind of gassed him up in April and May and June and July, but I think Emmett Johnson is a better running back right now than he has been at any point in his career. Okay.
Agree.
That throw that Dylan Raiola had that finished his night is the best throw that he has had in his young career at Nebraska. And I think he is leveling up right now as we see him. I think that there was a pass, and Matt and I talked about it on Overreaction last night. I can't remember who it was to, but there was a pass early in the game where you could see him go like, nope, that read isn't there. Nope, that read isn't there. And then he checked it down to a receiver, and it was like, he I think, mentally is grasping the part of the game that I think he was kind of swimming in last year when things were really struggling. D'Lo says Hunter and 44 look better, and Dylan Raiola looks better. Lindenmeyer, Jack, I really like what I'm seeing from Luke Lindenmeyer right now. Talk about a guy who is leveling up on the football field in front of our eyes. So I know it was against Akron, but man, like that is the exact type of performance that you want to see, where they don't play with their food for 2 quarters. They had dumb things and they still were up. What was the score at the half? 34 or 33-0, whatever it was. And then suddenly it's 41. Like 33. They were smoking them over the course of this game. Like it was the exact type of game that you want to see. And one more comment and then you can go. Jordan says the game is really slowed down for him. I could not agree more. Dylan looks so comfortable right now when he drops back to pass. And we did not say that throughout much of last year.
Matt Rule had a quote after the game I was listening to. I think it was on the post-game press conference. I think I was listening to your show, and he said something like, he was like, this is what I want from Dylan. I don't want him to make I'm paraphrasing. I don't want him to be making spectacular passes. What we saw tonight is what I want from him, and what we've seen, which is basically efficient and not turning the ball over. But maybe we took that for granted too much after week 1, right? Because this is what it looked like this time when it was efficient. And again, there were some to the degree that there were long plays, they were usually run after catch, right? For the most part. It was Mosey making extra yards. It was Lindenmeyer,
it wasn't bombing the ball.
It wasn't bombing the ball necessarily. It wasn't it was, it's a bunch of passes Nebraska has just not had available for so many years. It reminds me in games when I'm actually watching the Nebraska defense over the last several years, and it'll be like 3rd and 7, and you're playing whoever, Purdue or whatever, and it's like right away it's 3rd and 7, and they got to play where they got a guy on a quick slant who's always open, or they got a tight end sitting down in the middle of a zone who's always open, or they got an out pass. And I always remember thinking, why does Nebraska just not have those plays? Why does Nebraska just not have that 3rd down and 6, 3rd down and 7 pass that looks simple? That's what most of the offense is right now, to be honest. And they do have it. So, I mean, if I'm being consistent, I think I should be happy about that. But you're right. Like, he's making it. You're right. The last pass was that the Dane Key pass that you were talking about. That was the play of the touchdown. Yeah. That was pretty solid. And there were some other good ones, but he's making like really good decisions. And in the end, like that's probably more valuable than the highlight play. We've been thinking about.
So last night, Jack, one of the stats that I'm really going to try to pay attention to, especially when Nebraska's having a really good performance like they had last night, is the percentage of available yards that Nebraska was able to pick up. So last night, because they had a couple of drives end at the 3-yard line and then another one where they went 3 and out and ended at the 17-yard line, Nebraska picked up in the first half, before the knee on the last play, so I removed that, 389 of a total 412 available yards, which is 94.4%, which is an insanely high number. And then by the time they picked up their final touchdown, that was the TJ Lateef score, right? Nebraska, outside of, again, the knee before the half, had picked up 96.6% of available yards. Like, I don't have the last time that they were at that number. I poked around last night. Like, I went and looked at the Northwestern ass whooping from 2021. I went and looked at the Idaho State 73-7 victory in 2012. And those games had multiple drives end in punts and end with field goals that were from further away. So, like, Jack, we're probably talking about a 1990s type performance from the Nebraska offense in terms of picking up available yards. And so that is why, like, I do think you can take something from this, just because, like, we haven't seen it around here to this level. It's one thing to win 50-0. It's one thing to win 42-0, 68-0. And multiple people have said it. Like, they were a couple of plays away from having 80-something points. Like, and it would have slowed down, I think, for them in the second half. I don't think Matt Rule would have tried to push it to above 80. I think they probably still would have ended up with a similar number of points. But the fact that every drive just looked that comfortable for them, I just think that's the word right now. Comfortable.
Even go back. So in 2018, Nebraska played Bethune-Cookman. Remember, Bethune-Cookman comes in on that makeup game for the Akron game, oddly enough. And Nebraska won that game 45-9, right? Which is certainly a blowout, but there is, Bethune-Cookman, I would argue, is probably closer to what we'll see from Houston Christian as an FBS team. And in that game, Nebraska turned it over. And Nebraska did have a turnover here, but you didn't have, like, you had rushing that was more like 6 yards a carry. You had a quarterback who was 15 for 22, which was fine. But even against teams where there is an acknowledged matchup inequity, big time matchup inequity, there are so many times where you've not seen, for instance, Josh, the offensive line consistently, right, protect and make holes. And there's always, it seems like there's always a guy out there for the other team that's out there randomly making plays. And it didn't happen last night. It did not happen last night. The holes were there all night. You had everyone. They looked whistle to whistle like a completely dominant team, which they are in terms of the matchup. But again, part of it is just that hasn't happened before. And that you can debate what the value of that is beating the hell out of a team that you're way better for. But I will tell you this, it's fairly unprecedented in recent years. If you want to talk about improvement, that's improvement. Mm-hmm. They haven't done that. They haven't done that to teams they should.
Yeah, and now they're going to get a chance to do it again because they're going to play a worse opponent in 6 days. Houston Christian is somehow even worse than Akron. and of course they're the step lower, so their scholarship distribution is also going to be different, and it will be like I would hope, because Riss writes, honestly, the only comment I have is I wish the starters were pulled earlier in the second half, if not at halftime. Like, that was my whole vibe last night. It's just like, please get them out of the game. Like, I don't need to see these guys anymore. I'm going to be screaming about it on Saturday if Emmett Johnson is still getting carries into the second half, let alone deep into the second quarter. Like,
especially Emmett Johnson.
You don't need to do it. He is so important to the success of this team this year.
Yes.
Like, get him out of the game, man. Get him out of the game.
In Emmett's case, I think it's even more so than Dylan, because in Emmett's case, you need to see and evaluate the guys behind him in a game. Like,
correct.
We need to see Mosey get multiple touches. We need, we need to see Quentin Ives coming off an injury. We need to see him. Like, they should be the ones with double-digit touches in this game. There's no reason on next Saturday for them not to, one of those guys to be the one with double-digit touches and not Emmett Johnson. But I agree. I mean, I tend to agree with everything that's been said on that. And there were and by the way, just to go back, Josh, to your thing where you were pointing out guys who are just knowing the opponents, knowing Cincinnati and Akron, 2 games, guys who have been like pleasant. I don't know if surprise is the word, but like you went through a list. You mentioned Lindenmeyer, right? And you mentioned a couple of guys. And Emmett Johnson, I think, has been too. Like he's been. We had some excitement about him. But I would add to that list. I would add Desan McCullough. Like I thought he was one of the guys who flashed most on D. And Singleton. Man, Singleton has been so good. Holy crap! Just in terms of like hitting. And tackling, that's been such a boon, I think, for these guys. And then, like I said, all week and really all offseason, I was like, 93 this year. That guy is going to be a key. I think 93 should have a black shirt. I think that guy, I really think he's going to be good. And I've been saying it for a long time. He's a top
have
player.
You?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's from the heartland, which helps.
Interesting.
He's from the greater heartland area. Great values, I think, help with him. And
Tilo says Singleton playing like someone bent the bill of his favorite New Era cap. Jack, are you trying to motivate the guys? You're like, hey, young man, let me get the bill fixed on your hat.
Interesting, Deshaun. You came home to all your hat collection with a note with magazine letters all typed out and said, if you don't like this, play out of your mind. Otherwise,
serial hat vendor Jack Mitchell going in. That would be a great thing, Jack. If you started breaking into houses, not to steal anything, but to bend the bills of people's hats. I actually kind of like this idea. I mean, I don't want you to get arrested. You and I have podcasts to do.
Matakachek. But anyway, back to Matakachek. He's just a playmaker, wearing the number of Jared Tomich and Ndamukong Suh. People forget.
Wow, just get the belly jerseys going on again.
Yeah, Matakachek is anyway, if you want to give some more information on him, people probably already know, but if you want to give his full information.
Oh, are you begging me to tell you how to pronounce
That's up
his
to
name?
you.
Is that what you
there may be some people who can't think of his name right now, and that might help, or remember him being on a roster, or have any idea.
Really? You don't? Okay, now you are Mr. Player. You don't remember us having conversations about him in the offseason? I feel like he came on pretty strong when we were getting close to the start of the year, wasn't he? Weren't they talking about him at press conferences? Am I remembering wrong? Petchak, by the way, is how you pronounce his name.
Pet Shop?
Petchak. I thought you were just like eventually going to say it. I thought you're Mr. Player. I figured that you would have known. Yeah, Petchak. Yeah, Kate Petchak. Well, now you know, Kate Petchak. He is indeed from the Heartland.
He's great.
He's from West Fargo. Yeah.
Like I said.
Yeah,
Fargo.
Heartland.
Petchak. The Petchak boys.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Ben says just say Sue. Yeah, you could just call him, Mr. Sue. You could call him Sue Light. Petchak boy, says Ryan.
I love it. I love it when you learn there's a player on your team who's really good that you were not aware of before. It's a nice, fun. It's like an extra present under the Christmas tree.
Yeah, this is great. I'm realizing now that you don't listen on Sportsmanlike Conduct as much as I thought you did, because John and I talked about him recently.
Did you?
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we're ball knowers on the Grum. We talk about players,
Head
Jack.
shock.
I know you're always like, which coach should we fire? Which coach should we, focus on in a brand new sponsored segment on the Saturday Morning Coffee Show? I know that that's what you do, but I often am talking about the players, like Pet Shock.
I'm excited about Pet Shock. Like shock a pet shock.
That's it. Pet Shock. Yeah, kind of like Pet Chalk. Pet Shock.
All right, Mr. P. He was very
You'll
good.
Get there. Yeah,
he was very good. How about Nebraska almost got? I thought Nebraska was going to get like 4 safeties last night. That was fun.
I know, and they only got 1.
They really did empty. Now, hold on real quick. You talk, jokes aside on Pet Shock.
Yeah.
Early in the game, they emptied the defensive bench early.
Classic.
Like, super early. Like, I'm just watching the replay right now, and like on that first safety, Dawson Merritt was in. Pet Shock made the tackle. Like, that's early in the game, and I'm looking around at the guys who are in on that play, and there are a lot of backups and in the front 7 at that point. So they were, and that's 4:40 left in the first.
They love rotating on that side of the ball. Texas Toast says, should Nebraska be ranked? Jack, should Nebraska be ranked?
I don't know. Where are
they were like 34? They were like 34.
Depends what happens to teams.
Did they perform in such a way where you say, I think that they are a top 25 team? That's really what we're asking.
Let me see who's at the bottom. It just depends on who many people they pass, because that's how it's going to
work. I mean, the question is, like, will Florida fall out
like
for the
Florida
loss
and
USF?
SMU will probably fall out.
And USF is going to hop in, by the way. USF is going to take someone's spot because now they have 2 wins over top 25 teams.
Arizona State could probably drop out too, I would think.
Arizona State has to fall out. Florida has to fall out.
Missouri will be in. Missouri will be in.
Yeah. What do you do with
it's
Michigan?
Probably right on the line.
What do you do with Michigan?
I would say that they'll be in the lower upper teens or lower 20s probably.
Well, they were in the upper teens, so I think
were they?
Yeah, they were like 18, I believe is what they were. I think Michigan will still be in. I do not think that
22
they are
or 23. Yeah.
Jack, that game is going to be an opportunity for Matt Rule to pick up his first ranked win as a Nebraska head coach, and it's going to be Nebraska's opportunity to pick up their first ranked win since 2016. Okay. That is going to be on the table for them. Sam writes, I don't think Florida will drop out. I think they will. I don't think they look very good.
So Brett McMurphy, I have his ballot right now.
Okay. Does he have Florida in there?
He doesn't have Florida in. He doesn't have Nebraska in. He's got Michigan at 20. He's got USF at 21. Texas Tech 22. Mississippi State, they could get into 23. Auburn 24. Missouri
Mississippi
25.
State. He has Mississippi State in his top 25.
Yeah, number 23.
I mean, I guess they did just beat a ranked team, but wow, that'd be I would not rank Mississippi State. I think that's more on Arizona State not being super great. D'Lo says, check Florida's upcoming schedule. They won't be ranked for long. Yeah, their next 4 games are hell. It's like some combination of LSU, Texas, Texas A&M maybe, and somebody else that I'm missing.
That game,
it's going to be brutal.
Man, could Florida ever seem more like Nebraska? Wow. It's just like that is such is like early mid bad era Nebraska type situation where all of a sudden, you got the quarterback in, things start to get positive at the end of a year, and you're like, okay, here we go. And then you drop that game and you're like, oh no, everything is off the table. And all of a sudden, major hot seat once again. Florida feels like that. Florida feels just like, I don't know, like 20, I don't know what you pick your year, like 2012 Nebraska or something, 2013. Right when things had just started.
Well, and the fact too that yesterday they had a player spit on a USF guy.
I didn't see that.
2 days after the Jalen Carter situation, like I am
Seriously?
blown away. That like Jack, if I'm a coach after what happened on Thursday, I would say, if you do this, I am benching you for the season. And like it would. Jack, if like a coach said that to me, if I'm a player, I'd be like, yeah, no shit, I'm not gonna spit on anybody. Don't worry. And then a guy does it, like I just. Flabbergasting.
God,
How the hell does that happen?
Josh, speaking of which, not the spitting, but the results. Yeah. Just another weekend where just some delightful freaking results. Yeah. Just delight. I mean,
feel pretty good about that Iowa State win over Iowa yesterday morning.
There's a part of me that feels like I'm picking the winners of the game, not because of my knowledge. It's just like the universe is saying, hey, Jack, who would you rather win in this? And most of the time I'm getting my way. It's a delight. It is really nice. Michigan lost. Iowa lost. Last week, Notre Dame lost to Miami. North Carolina lost.
Florida yesterday.
Every funny outcome is Alabama getting crushed. For a while, Georgia was struggling with Austin P yesterday. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you want to see a team not there were plenty of teams. There were a few. Now, Ohio State murdered Grambling, but Grambling would probably be a 14-point underdog to Akron. So like,
hey, how about Oregon whooping up on Oklahoma State? That's pretty
that
funny.
was impressive.
After Gundy said what he did, like that's
even
that
was funny. Even that was funny. And there were teams that definitely took care of business, but there were plenty who didn't at all. Who did not take care of teams that were way overmatched yesterday. And Georgia's a great example of it. I think there's probably some other ones as well. But it's been so fun. The games have been unpredictable this year. It really feels, Josh, like after all of this talk about, hey, I think it's kind of a different era of college football in terms of the parity, I think you're seeing it in terms of 2 weeks of results. And it's
100%. I was hoping that last year was
Kansas State losing to Army. Kansas State losing to our Army.
Dude, they're Jack, they are so close to being 0-3 right now. Like they are so close to being 0-3 right now. You've been praying for this. What's that meme where it's like, Lord, I've been asking for this and you finally delivered or whatever?
It's like I've seen the things you've done for other people and I want you to do it for me.
That's the one.
But for me, it's more like, Lord, I've seen the pain that you've brought to me over the last decade. I'd like to watch it happen. Can you bring that to others? And amen and boom. 2 weeks. I love it. Pain all over the place. And we got another week of it next week. Where there's no worry for our team.
I know.
I keep these going. I like a few more of these weekends where we play Bill Snyder's schedule. This is great.
Jordan says Iowa's booty. Ben says even Penn State underwhelmed. D'Lo says just needed Dabo to go down again. God, we're so close. We're so close. We're so close.
Dude, so I quit watching that because of the Nebraska game, and I thought they were going to lose. And then I checked the scores, like, what in the world happened?
Yeah, very sad, very sad. Jab says, sorry if this was already discussed, but does last night change Josh's 7-5 prediction? So this is kind of the follow-up question, Jack, to the discussion that we had a little bit earlier on, is something different happening with this team? I do not want to cop out on this answer, but ask me after Michigan. I mean, I've been saying for weeks now, months now, the season hinges on Michigan. That game today versus yesterday is much more winnable. Michigan is a much more beatable team. Bryce Underwood, Jack, I think is talented. He's very athletic. Dude, I think he kind of sucks as a passer right now. He is super, super raw. They will be very talented. They will be obviously much tougher than yesterday and probably even tougher than Cincinnati. I think Nebraska is going to have a big-time chance. And don't forget, Sharon Moore, not only is he not on the sidelines that day, he won't be there that week. He will not be working with the team that week. Like, that is the chance, man. If you want the season, if you want the promise of the Matt Rule era to start going in one direction, this is where it has to happen. So I don't want to, like, keep focusing on this game because there's another one before it. But, Jack, I mean, I put it in the description for today.
Beat Michigan and let the orgy of joy begin. Let's do it.
We are counting down to the Michigan game because the season and where this program is going in 2025 will be decided that day. It will be decided that day. That game is going to be freaking massive, man. Freaking massive. How you feeling? Man. You good? Dude, that coffee show and that after Nebraska football that night could be just a wonderful.
And it's a 2:30 game, so it's 2:30. Perfect timing.
We're going to be on at our normal time. It's going to be glorious. It could be glorious.
I mean, it's the game of Matt Rule's career, for sure.
It really is. I do not think that it is hyperbole to talk about the importance that game is going to have for the future of Matt Rule's Nebraska program. There's a lot on the table in that game.
It is going to be, despite Michigan's loss. Does Michigan have a game this coming weekend?
Yeah, it's against a tomato can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in any case.
They're playing Central Michigan.
To get to the question Jabs asked you originally, I would say I haven't changed my sort of top end outlook on this team or my record prediction. What I will say is I allowed for a possibility that things could go this year kind of badly in a way that they have other, 5-7 or 6-6 could still be on the table. They always could be. I think the biggest thing the last 2 weeks have done, this week in particular, is kind of raised my floor a little bit overall on the team. I would say that's the biggest thing. It's raised. It's lessened my concern about the worst case scenario for this year.
Yeah, because real quick, what was your worst case? Was it missing a bowl?
Do we ever do that officially?
I don't think we did. Yeah, so it's hard. You got to put yourself in a mindset of, a week and a half ago now.
it probably was 6-6. I would think. I don't think 5-7 with that schedule. But you lose to Cincinnati, and then who knows, right? And all bets are off. And you've got it probably was 5-7. If you lose to Cincinnati, you get the 2 next wins. And then sure, then you're looking at your schedule like, well, the sure wins are maybe Northwestern, and I don't know.
Northwestern. I saw them in person on Friday. Jack, not impressed. Not impressed by Northwestern. That should be a game where Nebraska wins fairly comfortably. The schedule, I would say, in terms of, and maybe this could be something we do on Wednesday or Tuesday. We're on Tuesday this week, by the way, Tuesday for I-80 Live. USC looks better so far than I thought that they would. Michigan looks worse. UCLA looks way worse. Oh, dude, gosh.
He's not going to make it through the season.
There's a very real world. And I think his buyout is very affordable, and that place is broke. But
I don't think their schedule gets any better either.
No,
yeah, USC way better for sure.
Iowa's worse because Gronowski sucks.
All that talk all summer about Gronowski. Are you kidding? I mean, you've got to feel like you've been sold a bill of goods if you're an Iowa fan. Seriously. After all that, how many podcasts, how many articles did you hear? Well, Iowa's finally got a quarterback. They've got, and it looks the exact friggin' same. It looks the exact same.
Yeah, it's a problem.
They don't even try to pass it.
I know. It's wild.
Iowa State, geez, it was wow. Yeah.
Jordan says Michigan State looks pretty good. Yeah, tough, hard-fought win for them last night.
I mean, who knows? It's Boston College. I wouldn't say
I don't believe it.
I don't think I've. It was a great game. I don't think I've really. That's kind of where I thought they'd be a little better than they were last year. Michigan's probably a little worse than we thought.
Definitely. Maryland's interesting because I know everybody loves their new quarterback. I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to watch anything from yesterday's game just yet.
I watched a little.
Yeah,
it was close for a while, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Minnesota, they also kicked the crap out of
Northwestern State, though. I mean, it's
Well, it's like Akron in a way.
Worse,
but worse. It's like Houston Christian in a way.
Like again,
Ben says we don't play them, but Wisconsin's awful. Yeah, it's too bad Nebraska doesn't play Wisconsin.
I know everybody is saying Akron sucks, and they're right. But do you realize Akron would be a 10-point favorite against a whole bunch of these FCS teams, including the one Nebraska plays next week? That Minnesota beat or that Ohio State beat. Akron would be a double-digit favorite against most of those teams.
And then, so I think we've named everybody except for one team. Penn State. How we feeling about Penn State right now?
I haven't seen. I mean, I barely bothered to watch them because the games are so uninteresting. So, I don't have much of a take on them. They looked like they took.
Let's see what happens against
Utah State. Was kind of it was a low scoring at the beginning. Their offense didn't get going at the first half.
You know what? I'll say this in defense of James Franklin and Penn State. They always do this in September non-con games. Like they never look pretty in these early Nevada, Middle Tennessee, like those types of games. They often win them like 30-0. It's like, wow, you just do not dominate teams like I would expect you to.
I feel like the night of the Akron game in 2018, Penn State had to like walk Buffalo off with a field goal to win that game.
God, and they would have had really good players. They would have had Trace McSorley still.
I don't know if that's right. I don't know. I just have a vague memory of coming back and waiting for the Husker game. Anyway,
Adam says Drew Aller still mid. Yeah, I mean, like their season, it doesn't come down to Oregon. We will learn so much about Penn State in a few weeks when they play Oregon, when they host Oregon for what will be just a wonderful, wonderful matchup. Really big time, high quality stuff.
If you have it up, or can you pull it up? Can you give me just kind of a quick preview and of the games next week to sort of look forward to and get excited about? If you have that at your disposal. I can.
Why? What are you doing right now? Why are you making it so awkward?
Sorry, I don't mean it. I'm just looking at the Penn State schedule.
Oh, okay.
I can do it myself.
I got it.
So,
Jack, Alabama plays Wisconsin next week at 11 a.m. at the same time as Nebraska, so that'll be interesting.
And that's at Tuscaloosa, yes?
That's in Tuscaloosa, yeah. Okay, one more. Never mind. I'll give you two.
That game's great. That game's great. I love that game already.
There are too many 11 a.m. games that I kind of want to peek at a little bit. Clemson is at Georgia Tech, kind of interesting. Oklahoma is at Temple, which is just the weirdest schedule.
They're going to Temple?
They're going to Philadelphia. They're playing it at the Link. Like, I don't understand that. Big Noon, by the way, is at the Tiny Baby Stadium in Evanston. Oregon is going to wipe the floor They just had to want to do one game from that stadium before they alter it. Yeah, crazy. Okay, let me give you
roll my eyes hard enough at that. Wow.
All right, I'll give you a game that you're actually going to be excited for like legitimate reasons. Georgia is at Tennessee, and Georgia has looked kind of mid so far. So that one will be fun.
My national championship pick, by the way.
At night, Florida at LSU. Wow, that game is just taking a big turn with what Florida just did versus USF. Texas A&M is at Notre Dame next Saturday night.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
A&M. Now, there's a team that hasn't looked good. Texas A&M.
Yeah, they were playing with their food a lot yesterday. Arkansas is at Ole Miss. And how about this, Jack? 9:30. So we will probably be saying goodbye for after Nebraska football. Minnesota at Cal. Minnesota at Cal at 9:30.
And
that's
Cal
a fun
in week one
matchup.
looked really good. I don't know what they did yesterday, but they beat an Oregon State team. They blew the doors off Oregon State, who I thought was going to beat them. So interesting.
Let's see. Rob says, my thoughts are in order of win pecking order today. Houston Christian, Northwestern, UCLA, Michigan State, then Iowa, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, USC, and Penn State.
Oh. Say that again. Can you say it again slower? I just want to count real quick.
Yep. All right. So Houston Christian,
then
Northwestern, then UCLA and Michigan State. And then I'm guessing because he then put in a new line, I think because he's leveling up. Iowa, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, USC, and Penn State.
Yeah, I see 4 tiers basically. The first 5 or the first that first group, and then the Iowa one, Iowa and Maryland, I think he said, and then the Michigan, Minnesota one, and then Penn State, whomever. So sorry, I didn't quite count those perfectly because Michigan State's in Lincoln, right?
That's in Lincoln. Yeah.
So they take care of all of those tier 1 games, if we call them that. So the next this game and then Michigan State and Northwestern, that's bowl eligibility.
Wow. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much right there.
That's the floor. Like that. So that's why I'm saying that. Like they didn't, for me to be worried about games where Nebraska is the better team, they would have had to probably play with their food more today or next week. So
Ben says everyone's afraid of Iowa for no reason. Now there's lots of responses to which I said, do you even Growing Kid Chronicles, bro? Dilo just says, well, ... Biff says years of trauma. Like, look, I think this is the ripest Iowa has been for Nebraska to beat them, but I understand why if you say they're not beating, I picked Nebraska to lose to Iowa before the season. I understand it. There is a lot of issues with this rivalry over the years because Nebraska loses to them in the most inexplicable ways.
Of course, until that game hits 0-0-0, like there's no way I'm going to feel great about it. I don't care what happens this season.
Dude, Sam McEwen's been saying for months now, he doesn't think Nebraska's going to beat them. He thinks they're going to destroy them. He thinks that it's going to be similar to Wisconsin last year, where it's just like years and years of build up, and they finally don't just win, but they run them off the field.
We're due. Thank you. Bring it down. Bring it down. Let's get another shutout on Saturday. Another shutout. Yep. Another, I don't know, 60 plus points. I'd like that. Then come into big game week, ranked against Michigan.
That'd be nice if Nebraska snuck into the top 25.
I would think they will. I would think they will next week. I'm trying to.
It depends on where they show up in the AP poll today. It depends on when the poll comes out in, I can't remember. I always forget if it's noon Central or if it's 1 o'clock Central.
So but as it stands right now, coming into this week, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They need 9 teams ahead of them. They'd have to move ahead of. All those teams did really well, though. South Florida, Missouri, TCU, Louisville, Southern Cal, Georgia Tech, BYU. I believe they all won. And so they're not going to make up a ton of ground, to be honest. So, you're good. It may be tight. It may be tight to get in. They'll probably be right on the fringe after next week, I would guess. I don't think they'll get in this week. I'm sure they won't get in this week, to be honest. But yeah.
All right. Wow. What a time to be alive, Jack.
It's great. It's great. Too many years I've been out on this season of college football by this time, by September 7th.
Wow, that is depressing. And you're kind of not wrong. God, that is really
too many.
Jack.
And this year I am all in. I love it. Very excited for next Saturday. I love how the schedule's working out. I'm glad Michigan isn't next week. I'll take another week of doing this. I'll be probably bored of it by then, but I could do this whole thing again. this week. Watch what's happening around the country.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say, like, what are we talking about now for the next couple of weeks? What are we talking about now for the next couple of weeks?
Well, this week I don't know about this week, but next week it's just Michigan hype. I mean, that's all it is. It's just it's a big game week.
It really is. We are not going to spend
game week. It's the first true big game week since Colorado, and the first real true big, maybe second true big game week since I don't know what, since probably Michigan coming when Scott Frost was here. To be honest,
no. I mean, you don't think Colorado last year was
I said since Colorado. That was the first one I
Colorado.
said. I said those two are the only. I said one of the first few since Colorado last year. Yeah.
So before that, you're going to
Michigan in 21, right?
Probably. Yeah.
Because 22, they're obviously. I mean, there weren't any. There weren't any. And Matt Rule's first season, there really weren't any. So
Jordan says, any concern of a letdown next week? And I'm talking like a 24-10 in the second half type game. No, not like, I don't think that they will win 68-0. I do not think that they will win the game by that amount of points, but I do not think that we are going to be like, oh my gosh, they're playing with their food to that degree. I think that, Jack, if I had to pick right now, I'm guessing like a 52-10 or better, like 52-3, 52-7, 52-10. Like, I think that it is going to be another really easy, kind of nice, get the backups in performance.
When FCS teams play close games against FBS teams, it is among a certain echelon of FCS teams that are doing it, right? There are FCS teams that are making the playoffs. That it's the South Dakota States. It's the who was it that beat Michigan? I'm forgetting, from North Carolina. That back in the day, years ago, it's a good FCS team that is doing that. This just isn't that. These guys aren't.
This is not North Dakota. This is not any of the Dakotas.
Thank you, App State.
This isn't those teams. This is a bad football. They lost yesterday. This is a bad.
Oh, did they? Who'd they lose to?
Some bad team. I mean,
like, it's not the Dakotas, it's not Tarleton, or like Incarnate Word or Mercer. Like, those are Idaho. Those are serious teams that can pull off upsets. Not close. I mean, even Austin P. Like, they're receiving votes in the FCS. You're again, according to Connolly, Akron would be a 2-digit favorite over the team Nebraska's playing next week.
Yikes. And so that's the kind of game that it is. And that was after Nebraska football, following probably the most chill, easygoing win that this program has had in over a decade. The overreaction last night, Jack, it was like wild, just like going into the finale, like the end of the game, like, wow, this is just going to be a really relaxing night. And it was. It was a really relaxing night.
Nebraska could score 100 if they wanted to next week, I think.
Yeah.
Which is there's a lot of teams that could do that in games they're in. Ohio State easily could have done that last week on Saturday.
Correct. So. Yeah. All right, Jack, you and I are back on Tuesday. We are on this week on Tuesday night for I-80 Live because I have soccer to call on Wednesday. So the schedule over the next few days.
Soccer season.
We have.
This is the greatest fall ever.
Thank God. Volleyball State coming tonight for patrons, for subscribers at 7 o'clock. We hope to see you there. Jeff Sheldon, Lincoln Arneal. They have a guest coming up on tonight's episode. They'll recap Nebraska's match that is about to start in 2 hours, Jack, I believe?
I think it's 1 o'clock. Or is it 2?
1 o'clock.
Okay.
Maybe I can't remember. Either the graphic said 2 o'clock, thus it was Eastern, or I thought that the announcer said 2 o'clock Central.
Either way, they'll go on tonight.
They'll recap that match.
Remember.
So that is coming up tonight. Also, then we will do I-80 Live on Tuesday. We will do a football show on Thursday, and then a Big Ten breakdown. No Big Ten breakdown tomorrow, Jack, because Ben had a wedding to go to this weekend, but he'll be back at it previewing the Week 3 slate on Friday. And then next week, coffee again will be at 9 because I'll be in Indianapolis, and then we will do the
into the kickoff.
Right into the kickoff, and then we will do the post-game show 8 o'clock next Saturday. So lots to come here over the course of the next week. And then stay tuned. More of these Sunday morning shows with Matt McMaster each and every week as we get ready for the NFL matchups. Today we did Before the Witching Hour, Week 1. Next week we'll do it before Week 2. It'll be a lot of fun.
And Josh, real quick, we know just looking ahead a little bit more. Michigan's at 2:30, and we already mentioned this, but just to repeat,
Yeah.
we will have a regular evening show at 8 o'clock. That'll start right after Michigan, correct?
Yep.
8 p.m. Okay. And then we don't know the time then for Michigan State or Maryland, but those are the next two. So
Michigan
those
State
hopefully could
is
be normal.
it's either 11, 2:30, or 3. So we will have a normal.
Okay,
post
so that'll be
that
normal, 8 o'clock there, and I doubt
Yep.
Maryland will be a night game. So
Correct.
we probably are good. So you probably can pencil us in for the next. Well, there's bye week in the middle, but the next 4 games to be at 8 o'clock, and then the weird Minnesota thing happens. So,
and then so that one we'll do the post game show the next day with coffee, and we'll go a little bit longer than we normally do, and might start a little earlier. So
I know we want to watch NFL, but man, the schedule if they beat Michigan, holy crap! Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota after that.
Countdown is on to the Michigan game. All right, thanks everybody for watching us. Thanks for liking, subscribing, 5-star reviews, do all those things. And if you want more from us, patreon.com/I80 Club. He's Jack, I'm Josh. Enjoy the football today. Bye-bye.
You didn't.